Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another violent but true bedtime story with me, the First Sergeant. So last week I came into a little bit of money and I thought I would go see my twin brother Todd down at Panama Beach for spring break. Not a bad choice, although he has drained me of all my money. And if he comes in, I do apologize. He's a bit of a douche. Let's go ahead and start with the story, shall we? Born on the day that will live in infamy, December 7th, 1941, Ronald Ray would be destined for a life of service to his country. He would join the United States Army in 1959 and only serve a 3-year enlistment. It was the same year the U.S. committed, after the Gulf of Tonkin, to replace the beaten French and to slap around the communists who continued the revolution against the South Vietnamese. Ray would serve his 3 years with no combat deployments and would re-enlist with the Army Special Forces in hopes that would soon change. Ray was an individual that performed above standards in everything that he did, and it wasn't long before he was selected to be commissioned in the same Special Forces group. In 1966, Ray would finally get his chance and deploy to Vietnam. His unit, Company A of the 35th Infantry Regiment, 25th Infantry Division, would be deployed to the lovely La Drang Valley to support efforts in disrupting the NVA moving freely between the Vietnam-Cambodia border along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. That can only be Todd.
Bruh, let me come in, bruh.
Come on in, you disappointing burnout.
Whoa, bro, man, dude, it's wild out there. What you reading, bro?
Stories about people who actually accomplish something.
Oh, man, that's just your opinion.
Geez, shut your patchouli stinking ass up. Let me get back to this story. Leading a small platoon as first lieutenant, he would establish several LPOP positions along the hilltops, monitoring enemy movement along the border. The NVA were masters of guerrilla warfare after refining their tactics for years against the French. However, they did not anticipate the likes of one Ronald E. Ray. On June 19th, one of the OPs had come under heavy assault. The position came under attack by a company-sized element. Ray had to act fast, as the unit was experiencing large casualties. Ray hastily made his way to the TOC to round up a react force, but was told that no reinforcements would be provided. Ray was pissed. He quickly gathered the remainder of his platoon and set off with a support team of his own. Trudging a mile and a half through the dense jungle and applying tactics to misdirect and confuse the enemy, they approached the OP to see the soldiers in a fight for their life. Unlike you, who's never fought for anything.
Man, I fought for Funyuns.
God. Ray quickly reorganized his men into defensive positions while the NVA amassed another large assault. However, not to be one that fights from a corner, Ray sent a squad on a mission to destroy the enemy by flanking their position. The squad found themselves overwhelmed by enemy machine gun fire, and Ray had to do something quick. He observed a firm machine gun nest that had pinned down the squad. He grabbed a few grenades and a shotgun and stormed the entrenched position himself. Tossing grenades into the nest like bozo buckets, he broke the gunfire, allowing him to close with the position and unleash his pump-action pimp.
Bro, pimping ain't easy.
He killed all 4 men within the emplacement. Maneuvering across the battlefield, he relieved another team pinned down by automatic fire. Performing another daring raid on this position with well-placed frags, he silenced that gunfire as well. While rendering aid to 2 of his soldiers, an enemy grenade landed within feet of their position. He threw himself over his men to shield them and was riddled with shrapnel to his legs and feet. The explosion was followed by gunfire that tore into his already injured legs, rendering him immobile. Tossing his last grenade, he disposed of the enemy. Although he was unable to move, Ray still commanded his platoon through the remainder of the engagement, allowing them to remove the wounded and deliver a fierce loss to the overwhelming superior-sized force. He was carried to the extraction point by his platoon sergeant, where he was the last to leave. Ronald Ray would receive medical treatment in Pleiku and then Fort Bragg before he would return to service and eventually retire as a lieutenant colonel. He would serve 2 more tours in the war and would be presented the Medal of Honor by President Richard Nixon in 1970.
That's a cool story, bruh.
I'm not going to forget about the $1,000 you owe me.
Be a lot cooler if you did.